And welcome to Good Day Weekend. It's Sunday, August 16th. I'm Lisa Evers in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live right here on the Fox Local app. Police already preparing for another teen takeover tonight. Barricades now line Dyckman Street in Inwood. The NYPD has also increased patrols throughout the area. Officers brought in extra lighting near Broadway and Riverside Drive. That follows last weekend's takeover after the Dominican Day parade. Teens damaged cars and businesses across Upper Manhattan, and one person died during the chaos. Now neighbors hope the added police presence prevents another tragedy. A man faces hate crime charges after a violent attack at Central Synagogue. Police say Larry Montez disrupted Shabbat services Friday night, then assaulted a congregant and security. Congregants returned Saturday morning, determined not to let fear stop them. City leaders condemned the attack and vowed to fight anti-Semitism. Worshippers say they will not be intimidated. And here's a look at your weekend weather. Today, a high of 81. Tonight, rainy and a low of 70. Tomorrow, more showers, but a high of 85. Broker fees are gone, but renters are paying the price to see so-called hidden apartments. There are reports that city brokers are charging would-be renters thousands of dollars to see units not listed on the open market. Fox 5 Sharon Crowley takes a look.
It's getting out of control, even for people who are rent stabilized.
It's pretty difficult, I thought.
Any New York City renter can tell you about the challenges of finding an apartment in this tight real estate market.
It's rough all over the city, and I don't think it's going to get any better.
City lawmakers passed the FAIR Act last summer, aimed at making things less expensive for renters. The FAIR Act, which stands for Fairness in Apartment Rental Expenses, prohibits brokers who represent landlords from charging broker fees to tenants. However, some realtors say it has had the opposite effect because rents have gone up as supply has gone down.
The FAIR Act has poured kerosene on the supply crisis fire, and it's added fuel to the supply crisis, and all it's done is make apartments more expensive for New Yorkers across all 5 boroughs.
Jason Haber is the co-founder of the American Real Estate Association and a broker at Compass.
Before the FAIR Act, you had a choice. You could go online and there was literally a box. It said no fee listings. And if you were dead set against paying a fee, you could search for no fee listings. That's now gone. And instead, that cost is now baked into the rent.
Alia Muhammad is a CEO of Open Igloo, a leasing marketplace connecting renters with apartments. She has a different point of view. She thinks the FAIR Act is having a positive impact.
We found that the percentage of New York City renters who are paying a broker fee dropped from about 30% to 15%. So renters are finding real savings in the market right now.
She admits some renters are now complaining that real estate agents are using a loophole to try to get a broker's fee out of them by offering hidden so-called pocket listings. The city says this practice is only illegal if the broker uses the listing as leverage.
So one of the things and common complaints we've heard from renters is a broker will post a listing, the renter will reach out wanting to see it, and the broker will say, hey, I have this other apartment, it's not listed, but there will be a broker fee. Do you want to pay it? And sort of this is their way to convince that renter to essentially hire them.
I did reach out to city leaders to try to get comment. They were not available tonight. However, if you have a complaint and think you've been unfairly charged a broker's fee, you can go to nyc.gov and file a complaint. On the Upper East Side, Sharon Crowley, Fox 5 News.
Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal is calling for an investigation into a dangerous social media trend involving the popular kids' toy, Neato. Blumenthal is pointing to the trend where kids microwave the gel-filled toys, which could burst and cause serious burns and injuries. They are not meant to be heated. At least one Connecticut child was treated for burns after microwaving a Neato. The senator is calling on the Consumer Product Safety Commission to investigate. The toy maker says it is working with social media companies to remove these videos. And this time of the year, when we're spending so much time outside, there's a lot of concern about Lyme disease. And now a new at-home test is looking like a very promising tool. Fox 5 Jody Goldberg brings us the story from Long Island.
Snap the lid on.
For anyone who's ever pulled a tick off their skin, the question almost immediately is, was it carrying Lyme? Now a new $50 at-home test called Lyme Alert is designed to find out.
Test the presence of the pathogen that causes Lyme disease in the tick itself.
Co-founder Erin DeWicki says it works like an at-home COVID test. You put the tick into a small container, add a liquid, twist to grind it up, and then dip in a test strip.
You wait between 15 and 30 minutes, and you get 2 colored lines if the tick is positive for the pathogen, and 1 colored control line if it's not.
DeWicki came up with the idea after hearing from patients who say they found ticks but couldn't always get to a doctor.
We want to reduce barriers to accessing healthcare at the time you need it.
A Columbia University study found that 56% of ticks tested here on Long Island carried the bacteria that causes Lyme disease. And in Suffolk County, more than 3,100 cases were reported. That's more than any other county in the state of New York.
The United States estimates that there's about 8 million tick bites in the United States annually, and about half of those people find the tick. So about 4 million people may be positively affected by having a home tick test at home.
DeWicki hopes a positive result will push someone to call a doctor sooner, but Dr. Andrew Handel says there's an important difference. A positive tick doesn't necessarily mean a positive patient.
It takes about 36 to 48 hours for a tick to transmit Lyme disease to a human. And so if you've had a tick that's been biting you for only a few hours and you remove it, even if the tick itself is infected with Lyme disease, the person who's been bitten is not at risk of developing Lyme disease.
People we spoke with say having another tool at home could be reassuring.
I had a tick on me earlier in the summer, so that would have been really helpful instead of having to rush to the doctor.
It's more convenient. I would rather have it at home.
Why not?
1 tick, 2 lines, and potentially 1 more piece of information to bring to the doctor, especially at a time where tick bites are becoming so common. On Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Artificial intelligence is changing the way college admissions offices read applications and decide who they're going to accept. Some top universities are getting rid of supplemental essays as they try to figure out a way to determine what's created by AI and what's written by a real student. One college admissions expert says colleges are now focusing on other parts of a student's application.
The main signal that colleges have sent in this kind of uncertainty about AI is that they're doubling down on test scores and students' proven academic performance. That seems to be the best way to kind of cut through the misinformation, cut through the uncertainty, and really get to what a student is capable of in the classroom.
College admissions experts say some universities are now relying on live video prompts instead of written essays. Meanwhile, other schools are considering bringing back the SAT and ACT as a requirement to apply. It's been a hot summer and the heat waves have reignited a new debate about workplace etiquette. Specifically, some are wondering if it's ever okay to wear shorts in the office. Fox 5's Kendall Green took that question to New Yorkers.
So far this summer, we've seen about 12 days or so with some serious heat. We're talking 90-plus degrees, about half of what we saw last year. Yet, a late summer debate is heating up for men in the workplace, and it surrounds shorts or no shorts at work.
I don't like it. I work in a law firm, and if somebody came in with shorts, I don't think I'd be happy about it.
As we and the New York Times were asking questions, we got the same question asked back over and over again.
What type of work we talking about?
And that opened up more grace for the men who do wear shorts on the clock.
If it doesn't affect what you're doing, it doesn't matter.
Sometimes it gets hot, and if somebody wants to wear shorts, I think that should be good.
Yeah, there's a professional way to wear khaki shorts and whatnot and be professional. I'm not a fan of flip-flops, though, and things like that,
If you ask Greg Giangrande, an HR pro at Ellucian,
this one is easy. Just no. I mean, unless everyone else in the workplace is wearing shorts and it's part of that culture because it's that type of company, you don't want to be a trendsetter when it comes to fashion in the workplace unless you're the boss and you're trying to set the culture. Otherwise, no on shorts.
Mr. Manners, an etiquette expert, seems to agree.
I feel like pants are one of the few walls yet to fall. And although this can be industry dependent, I don't think it's a huge ask in an air-conditioned office to expect that men in a professional setting are wearing full-on pants or trousers.
But again, this is a more corporate tailored debate, a little different for those who clock in less buttoned up settings.
More relaxed because it's summer. Nothing. It's cool.
It's cool?
Yeah.
Yeah? No issue at all?
Yeah. I don't have issues.
Do you wear shorts at work?
Get some pants on.
What'd you say?
Get some pants on.
Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. But first, here's a 7-day forecast for the week ahead.